sharing durian ASEAN.
ASEAN Dailies. First and foremost news from Southeast Asia. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Durian ASEAN, the voice of discovery and sharing. This is Grace.
Hi, this is Gowri. Good morning, everybody. Today's a Friday.
Yes, anything can happen Friday. So, how are you feeling, Gowri?
I am feeling good. It was raining this morning. It was pretty. I actually had to run here from the train station, but yeah, it's all good.
To me, it was quite refreshing to
run in the rain.
Not run in the rain. To come here, and I was like, raining. It's actually not bad in the morning, even though it was a bit chilly and pretty cold. Yeah. But then to start with our first news, where shall we start, Gowri? I think we're gonna start something very smoking hot.
We can. Yes, you got me there.
Yeah. So, someone called 999, the Malaysian fire.
911.
Yes. Gowri is pretty hyper. Yes. Well, Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department has released a Smoking Hot 2015 calendar. Have you actually gone through the calendar before? I mean, I actually I saw the calendar, just the pictures of the not that I purchased it, but then I saw from the social media, and then my goodness, I was like, oh my god, I have not seen this kind of calendar before.
Actually, I'm not sure if they have actually ever done anything like this before. So I was quite shocked when I saw the headline that our own local fire, the Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department, released a Smoking Hot 2015 calendar with pictures of all their supposedly most good-looking firefighters.
Actually, this is the second time that actually wanted to promote healthy lifestyle. So the new concept was very important to encourage everyone, including those within the department, and also to maintain a healthy lifestyle. But then when I saw the pictures of a really healthy and a muscular man, I was like, is it really related to healthy lifestyle, or is it?
Exactly. That's like bullshit. This is trying to reach out to all the gullible women out there. Anyway.
And also, these male officers going about their daily routines and also striking impressive poses, of course. And the calendar also pays tribute to women officers as well.
And within 24 hours of posting, it got 2,000 likes and more than 100 replies. And I'm assuming most of them are from the female side.
And Gowri, I am not surprised. And are you planning to buy one?
We'll see. I'll think about it.
So definitely this is something really interesting. Actually, it was pretty viral on social media yesterday. But there's also another opinion that these exclusive calendars are not for sale, and it will be only made available to Fire and Rescue Department officers, State Fire and Rescue Department, and related ministries only. And then for lucky few members of the public, the department's Facebook page gave out free copies of the calendar to those who could provide answers to questions relating to the duties of Fire and Rescue Department officers.
I don't think anyone has paid that much attention to the Malaysian Fire and Rescue Department before, so
yes.
It's all working out well for them.
And also there aren't many major incidents related to the fire, or so far, if I'm not mistaken. Perhaps that's why the focus wasn't there before. Yeah. So we'll see how the calendar goes about and how the reaction goes about.
We probably need to make like a second print after this.
We'll see how it goes. Perhaps it could be the female models next time. Well, moving on to the next news, it's about the new 1MDB president and what he's actually planned for his strategy for the company. And the new president, his name is Arul, here on the second day into his job as the head of the One Malaysia department. Yes.
He just to give a little background to him, he is a 38-year-old law graduate from the London School of Economics, which is a very prestigious school. And he has skills such as investment banking, which he acquired in London and the Middle East, and said that it would be business as usual for 1MDB without any disruptions to its existing plans.
Yes, that's correct. And also strategy review that the government-owned fund is undertaking of 1MDB, which was established 6 years ago. He said it was a periodic check that most companies undertook from time to time.
And 1MDB was actually set up as an investment firm, and they focus more on investing and they own a lot of lands. But we also know of all the scandals that they've had, all the debts, especially huge billions of ringgit amounts of debt, and the people are very skeptical about whether this could still work, and a lot of politicians as well have stepped forward, especially from the opposition, to criticize 1MDB and what they've been doing and how they've been managing the funds specifically. But it seems that the government side is pretty optimistic that they can save 1MDB.
Oh, well, as much as the government has shown the positive vibe to the public, but still people are still doubting about the new president of 1MDB. But however, he said that there are challenges, of course, in heading 1MDB, and he's fully aware of this for sure.
There are a lot of challenges.
Yes, of course. And he actually told the public that he is a Malaysian, and he also has a family and friends here. And having been offered a role to become back to Malaysia, it's very attractive to him. So, well, not only being attracted by all those facts, but he also needs to really focus and then to be able to fix the problems that 1MDB has been facing so far.
And he also was pretty forward in terms of answering questions. It seems he did not shy away from any of the questions asked regarding 1MDB. And he said, I'm being transparent with what I know. All I can say is that in terms of the funds in Cayman Islands, a portion of it has already come back, and the remainder of the funds is in the process of coming back. That was one of the things that a lot of people wanted to know about our funds, the money that we invested in the Cayman Islands. And also another background that 1MDB is actually has assets worth 51.4 billion, but also a total liability of 49 billion, which is pretty much it's really close. It's pretty much the same amount.
It's quite close for sure. And also he spent 10 years with Barclays in London and later moved to establish the credit Agricole in the Middle East. After the company that he joined the Abu Dhabi Commercial Bank as executive vice president and head of investment. So that's just the addition to his backgrounds again.
So there's one part that that's saying 1MDB is salvageable, that we can rescue it, we can do something about it, and the other part is saying that it's doomed, there's no rescue plan. And then there are also the people who are worried because eventually it's the taxpayers' money. So now we have a new president, so
and of course, people have been doubting about the new president, how they can give the credits to him. I mean, no matter what kind of background that he is from, it's all about how he shows to people and also to execute his plan. And then to add on that, he said, I am a professional and I have always been a professional. I am not aligned to any party or any other purposes apart from the purpose that I have been given.
So let's see if he can deliver and prove us right or wrong about 1MDB.
Yeah, of course. And this is something pretty a major issue. And then we'll definitely have more eyes on to watch his plans carried out. So next news, we'll move just our neighbor, where it is Singapore. And Singapore is building a new Indian city 10 times its own size.
Singapore government's decision to lead construction of a new capital city in Andhra Pradesh is supposed to be a testament to its pioneering approach to business. So this is more of a business move by not Indonesia, by Singapore.
I think you're very into Indonesia.
Go over to Andhra Pradesh and build a whole new city there.
Yeah, and so the new city, it's called, it's likely to have an IT focus. And also, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, he also said that he will invite the software companies such as Microsoft to set up the development facilities. So definitely it's something that will benefit to Indian community in Singapore.
One of the major challenge that they will be facing is, of course, corruption, because you cannot deny India actually has a reputation for being very corrupt, and even within the country themselves, they blame all the problems that they're facing right now to corruption, and how almost everyone in the country is suffering from corruption. And,
well, that's correct.
And Singapore is actually one of the world's least corrupt countries, according to the statistic that I have here. So in that aspect, they will have a major conflict. And the problem with corruption that is not so much about the amount of money that change hands, but it's more about, inexperienced people saying, yeah, I can do this, and they come in and then they don't deliver, or they do like a 6:30 job, and that will of course have an effect on what Singapore is trying to do.
Yep. And also Singapore signed an agreement with Andhra Pradesh government in December to prepare the master plan, also to develop the new city. So this plan should be finished within 6 months. And also it has to be the first phase of the construction, which includes government, commercial, residential buildings, should be completed within 5 years. So that looks like a pretty structured plan. And also Singapore companies will build the utilities, and a Singapore-based government-funded Center for Livable City with trained officials of the state government.
So as much as we are hoping for success, of course there's also a lot of risk that Singapore is facing by embarking on this project. But we can also see from this that Singapore is showing a different kind of focus, which other developed countries have not really been projecting. And also because of its powerful economy, despite having no natural resources, which we all know, they are trying their best still to step in and help other countries to boost their growth, their economy, and to help to strengthen their structure as well.
And it's very interesting because they are focusing on the new Indian city, 10 times its own size. Well, Singapore is definitely a very small country, but with a very strong economic growth. And then they are focusing on the one certain community, and that they are planning to expand that city itself. So definitely they will, like I mentioned before, they will benefit to the certain community, which is the Indian community in Singapore.
So Grace, let's take a quick break.
All right,
and we'll
Gowri,
come back
I shall
and continue with more news from Southeast Asia.
Will do. ASEAN Dailies. First and foremost news from Southeast Asia. Hello, welcome back to ASEAN Dailies. This is Grace.
This is Gowri.
Okay, well, yesterday we went to attend this forum, first Malaysian Young Entrepreneurs Forum yesterday, and then we did We did attend there to share some knowledge, and also to hear a few speakers from different industries regarding entrepreneurship, and also in ASEAN regions.
And this was catered to the young Malaysians, in particular, especially those who want to go down the path of entrepreneurship. And it was supposed to help them, to introduce to them what AEC is all about, to educate them about the market, to create awareness, and also the importance and implementation of the AEC, and also to encourage and promote business opportunities among young ASEAN entrepreneurs from fellow ASEAN countries. So it's not just from Malaysians, as I said earlier.
And also, we managed to hear the speeches from the speakers from different industries, like I mentioned before, such as Kazumi Nishikawa, who's also special advisor to the minister, Douglas Fu, who is the founder of Sake Sushi, and also Roshan Tirand, founder and CEO, Leader Mix, and also Chris Leung, who is the co-founder and director of Soft Space. So they have their own experiences when it came to entrepreneurship, and they gave really good advice to young entrepreneur and also to SMEs, not only Malaysia like you mentioned also, but then in ASEAN as well.
So for all the young Malaysians and other fellow members from the ASEAN countries, if you want to be an entrepreneur or go down the road of entrepreneurship, do check out the AEC and see what it has in store for you, especially in terms of opportunities and benefits, because we are going for an economic community, an integrated economic community this year.
And Malaysia becoming already a chairman of the ASEAN, definitely the focus is on our nation, and with a growing area in the SMEs and also for entrepreneurship in Malaysia, will have definitely boost up this area for ASEAN region as well. So moving on to the next news, which we would love to highlight about the banning Christmas celebration in Brunei.
And this ban also drew a very huge outcry from not only people in Brunei, especially people from Indonesia, from Malaysia, pretty much from all over the region, because it's very difficult when you feel like you have to suppress something or push something down in order to protect your faith, because your faith should be just your faith. You feel strongly about it, you hold on to it, and a celebration of another religion, some other religious celebrations shouldn't have an effect.
It's very interesting because Malaysia is a Muslim country, and then the law is also embrace the Islamic law itself. However, compared to other countries such as, for example, France, we're going to talk about more about it later, but in France, it actually the government and the religion is two separate areas. So the government will never touch religions matters. It's always up to them, and also to them to handle the certain issues. But however, when it comes to our nation in Malaysia, definitely there are certain areas that they are affected religiously, and also, like you mentioned, certain community and the religious are suppressed by the dominant religion itself.
But eventually everyone in the country should have the right to practice whatever religion that they want, because it's their own freedom, that they can practice whatever religion that they're comfortable with. And when you practice a religion, it's kind of inevitable that you're going to have some religious celebrations that come with it. And
so what's happening here is the ban instituted after Christmas last month, when local children and adults were seen wearing clothes like, Santa Claus, raises fresh concerns of further religious restrictions. And then this is again the restricting their freedom of even expression when it comes to celebration. Just by wearing something like Santa Claus, it was restricted.
And this latest move actually came after Brunei's Sultan announced in April last year that he would push ahead with the new introduction of a criminal code that, of course, they went ahead and implemented the Hudud law, which also drew an outcry from a lot of people all over the world, especially the United States. And now they are going ahead and banning public Christmas celebrations in the country. So I see a lot of suppression that's going on in the country.
Well, also the statement itself is said that believers of other religions that live under the rules of Islamic country, and Malaysia is a very good example, and also may practice their religion or celebrate their religious festivities among their community with the condition that celebrations are not disclosed or displayed publicly to Muslims. So what's the fear here? I feel that it's more of how Muslims will be affected by the other religions in terms of, unconsciously, in terms of even wearing something like Santa Claus or even singing carol songs. It definitely those are the restricted in that particular region in Brunei.
And we're pretty much having the same issue in our country as well. Of course, this is not just to criticize Brunei and to to call them backwards. We are also facing the same problem, being a majority Muslim country when it comes to certain religious celebrations. So even like wishing each other a Happy New Year, a Merry Christmas, certain things like that can also be regarded as damaging to the faith, or it's not seen as being in line with their practice, with their religion.
That's correct. And when it comes to ASEAN, we always talk about the diversity, and that includes the religions, and not only the culture but religion part as well. But when you want to make a single market and also to become united all together with from all these 10 countries, and of course 10 countries have different religions there, and then in terms of understanding each other, if one is so strong about the one religion and not being able to accept the other religion, that will cause another problem.
And the way to go about this is, of course, through moderation, but we'll see what happens with Brunei.
Yep, and then moving on to the Indonesian news. Well, Indonesia sinks Malaysian vessels over illegal fishing, and then the police in North Sumatra, which was on Thursday, sunk a Malaysian trawler for illegal fishing off the Padang Islet in the province recently.
Actually, I'm sorry, but I actually burst out laughing just now. But because Malaysia and Indonesia has a very strange relationship, as much as
What do you mean by strange relationship?
Yeah, as much as we are close, they're our neighbor, and we have a lot of things in common, especially in terms of language, in terms of food, in terms of culture, even in terms of clothing. But we just cannot. We still have a lot of conflicts that's going on between each other, especially.
Is it because of you guys? I'm so sorry to mention you guys, but the Indonesian and Malaysia's do share a lot of common factors together. So it sort of leads to have a competitions between two countries.
Well, yes, that too, and also because of all their workers that come over and don't get treated well. They're not being paid well. They don't get treated well by their employers. They get their passport confiscated and all that hassle that goes on with it. And for the longest time, it felt like Malaysia has this superiority complex over Indonesia because
I thought it was the other way around. No?
Well, it depends because economically we were better off, and Indonesia had the edge when it comes to cultural although like we have a wayang kulit and all here, it really came from there, and they still practice it very strongly, whereas over here is kind of died off. So we have that whole feud going on that each country think it's better than the other, and now it's Indonesia's turn to actually step in and sink some Malaysian boats for illegal fishing.
And also, it was said that after getting approval from the district court head, we used dynamite to destroy and sink the ship. It was pretty violent actually to destroy a ship from Malaysia just like that. And he said this was the first time the provincial police had sunk a foreign vessel fishing illegally in that areas.
And also the North Sumatra police chief who witnessed the sinking of the fishing vessel actually said that the action had been approved by the court. But we do know that Indonesia has given their warning actually a few months back.
Yep, that's true.
They will sink any
illegal fishing,
any boat that they find that is not supposed to be in their territory.
So they actually carry out the plan according to what they said before. But then the tension between Indonesia and Malaysia, it's there unconsciously, also quite obvious at times.
So we are still waiting for our side to respond to this event, and so far we don't have a response yet, but we will update our listeners on that one as soon as we get it.
And then we will continue the tension or the issues that happened to our nation as well as Indonesia, which is the flight QZ8501. Passengers planned to report a position every 50 minutes under a new UN tracking plan, and which is pretty a positive news to let the families of victims to know what's going on with the search of flight.
A lot of people were, of course, very devastated by the MH370, which we still don't have much of an update about. We know what happened to MH17. We are starting to get or detect all the debris from QZ8501, but when it comes to MH370, all the family members of the victims are still left in the dark, and they don't know what happened to all the people on board. We don't know what happened to the people on board, and we want to know as well. So UN actually stepped in and said, okay, from now on, every 15 minutes the pilot has to update with the control tower, and that is to help to track the plane better, and you will know exactly at which point you lost contact. It will be more specific.
And here, I believe the media plays very vital role in terms of delivering the messages from them to the public, because they will definitely keep an eye on those searches going on, and then every 50 minutes, if it was reported to the public, some news will actually again probably bring more devastation to the family members. So they have to be a bit careful. The media has to play a careful role in this matter. And in fact, the International Civil Aviation Organization, which is called ICAO, spokesman said that if this standard was adopted, could go into the effect in the near term, because it would not require new technology on the planes.
And that's right. I mean, all the pilot has to do is keep updating the control tower. It doesn't require any new device, any new system to be installed in the plane. And in December, that industry task force recommended that airlines start tracking the planes like 15 minutes intervals within 12 months. But it said that the practice did not happen. They actually planned to have this earlier, but it wasn't really deemed as important at the time. But now the time has come that
the time has come, and then it is highlighted that they realize the importance of having one and implementing the system into updating every 15 minutes is really important. So we hope to hear more news from these issues, and then to be able to deliver the right and the correct news to our listeners and also to the public. So we'll take a very short break, and then we'll come back to deliver more news from Southeast Asia. ASEAN Dailies. First and foremost news from Southeast Asia. Welcome back. This is Grace.
Hi, this is Gowri.
So this will be our last the part of our ASEAN Daily News that will deliver news from Southeast Asia. Well, we did deliver we've been reporting the news about the France shooting, which happened on the Wednesday.
Yes, and just to give a little background in case some people are still in the dark about what happened. So this French magazine actually came up with a satirical piece that was targeted at the ISIS, the extremist militant group.
It's the sort of the cartoonist also the magazine that they have been really sarcastic about the certain issues regarding Islam.
I mean, the whole thing is a satirical piece. That the whole comic is always sarcastic, always satirical, because they just want to present something, and they want the people. It depends on their audience as well to actually think and interpret it their own way.
Well, definitely France is strongly supporting the freedom of speech and freedom of media when it comes to this sort of action, and also to deliver their message via their art or pieces they can. However, on the other side of the world, some people were offended by all these drawings and also the messages. So 3 gunmen stormed the Paris office and to attack this office, which is a weekly known for lampooning Islam and also other religion as well.
And you know what? They were actually attacked within minutes of publishing that comic strip, just within minutes. And that's how fast it traveled and how extreme it can get over there.
And then what our PM, our Prime Minister in Malaysia, he said, it was yesterday if I'm not mistaken, the tweet on Twitter, he said Malaysia condemns in the strongest terms of all acts of violence. We stand in unity with French people. We must fight extremism with moderation. So here, there are quite a lot of what do you call that? Feedbacks, different kinds of feedback. They came along to read this comments on his Twitter, and I support. I'm so sorry to mention I here, but then I support I support those people are against this comment, because after all, we need to fix our own problems in Malaysia. We have a lot of religious problem here, and then how do we actually be able to support the other religious problem that have occurred in other nations?
I mean, of course, we support what the Prime Minister says in the first place. Of course, we don't want to have extremism in the country. We want to have a moderate nation.
For sure.
We want to have the freedom of expression, especially for the media. And it's okay for people to be a little sarcastic or satirical sometimes, you know. You want people to be able to express themselves without fearing for their lives. But at the same time, when this comes from our Prime Minister, people will look at our country and see if we are really a moderate country in the first place, or otherwise, why are you condemning another state or some other people who are practicing
another argument will
extremism?
actually can raise from there, because have we been actually portraying our moderation via so many issues that we've been having so far. So people can actually go against this comment. So, but then hopefully we hope to update our listeners regarding this issue, because there are so many feedback that are coming from the government as well as the people, because apparently the French government is playing pretty safe at this point, because they want to avoid the conflict to attack the Islamic
You're right. We
community.
haven't actually heard anything very vocal from the France government itself, but we have people all over the world coming together, organizing peaceful rallies, and also well, I can't show this to our listeners right now. It can be up on our Facebook page later, but cartoonists all over the world actually responded to the shooting by coming up with their own piece of cartoons, which is very beautiful. So maybe they can check us out. Check the comics out on our Facebook page.
For sure. And moving on to another issue that ASEAN has been facing, which is regarding China Sea approach. Will China actually change its South China Sea approach in 2015, which is already this year?
Well, over the past few months, or even in the last year, we saw a lot of conflict happening in the South China Sea, where China had a conflict with the Philippines, and then it was with Vietnam, and they tried to have a dialogue, but it didn't really happen. But it's 2015 now, and we're trying to come together as one, and we're trying to be friends with China as well, because we have also signed the RCEP with them, and we're trying to have a collective benefit
and
in
also
the
to be
region.
able to move forward to overcome these issues, because these issues are giving so much headache to not only to certain countries but throughout the ASEAN regions. And like the question it says, will China actually change its South China Sea approach in 2015?
It seems that in late 2014, last year, Beijing has actually spent quite some time to patch things up with Vietnam after the deployment of an oil rig near the Paracels, and that of course caused a controversy. But it seems that it did not leave out Manila as well. They did have some sort of a dialogue happening, which was quite impressive, but it's hard for a country like China, which is really big, really powerful, and when it comes to a smaller nation, they tend to have that authoritative manner when it comes to dealing with things. And is China going to change its ways? We don't really know, but they are definitely trying to cool things down. They're definitely trying to work on their bilateral relationships between the countries, especially for economic reasons. You don't want to fight with another country over the territory, because China already has a huge area that belongs to them.
And also, what will be very interesting and that we will be quite entertained to see how Beijing and other claimants respond to all these decisions on the Philippine case against China, which will probably be issued before the end of 2015. So there are lots of responsibilities and also action need to be taken towards this issue regarding Southeast China Sea. So, Gowri, I guess that's the end of our news commentary today. Do find us at our website, which is at durianasean.com.
And don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. And if you're on the move and you want to listen to us, you can just pick up your smartphone, download the TuneIn app, and look for Durian ASEAN.
And don't forget to leave us the feedback, and we'll be back for the next segment.